Citizens, what's up? It's President Awall here, and I'm bringing you a Galactic Empire deck, bringing you daily Star Wars Force Arena videos. Just going to briefly show you the deck here, and I'm just going to take it straight into some gameplay, and I'll explain it as the video moves forward. But essentially, this is a very, very low-cost deck, a very versatile deck that can allow you to basically hit both lanes with any number of counters that you want very, very quickly. 2.9 average energy cost means that you can be very efficient and very deadly with this deck. Let's just take it straight to the ladder, and I'll explain a little bit more here in a moment. But it's always best to just illustrate it, right, and just to show the deck in action. I have about a 65% win rate with this deck, which is much lower than all of my Rebel decks. I've lost about 350 rating points trying to make a Empire deck work right now. As you can see, I got insta-Q here, 0 seconds on the Q, because Empire, okay, well, there you go, they left. But Empire is just still not very popular. Everybody knows that. Instant Q, right? You get an instant game if you Q as Empire, and it's simply because people's perception of Empire right now is that they're not as strong as Rebel. So far, I'm seeing that, you know, the balance changes that came up recently have helped MTV Light Vehicle. It's great. I tried using Emperor Palpatine. I lost about 12 games with Palpatine, trying every deck under the sun to try to make that work, and unfortunately I was unable to make Palpatine work. As much as I love Palpatine, it just didn't happen, and I would love to be able to put together something with Palpatine and to bring you a deck on the channel. I tried, that was the first thing I tried, but unfortunately I just couldn't make it happen. So I'll continue to try out Palpatine decks, and I'm not ignoring the other like galactic heroes or galactic leaders that you guys want to see on the channel. It's just me not able to make a viable deck right now. It sucks, that's just kind of fact. So there you go. Gonna drop Stormtroopers right here next to Yeti with a minigun, and the Imperial turret actually is extremely dangerous. And if I can take down Lando, I can actually make some work happen, and I'm going to drop down my rocket, and we're just going to get some pot shots in here. Oh no, bottom lane, I ignored bottom lane, and Gonk Droid is going to end up hitting this thing. Wow, and taking down my bottom lane as I let my base go down. That is very disappointing that I let that happen. It's okay, I can still be reactive. We're still relatively even right now, but I just kind of let that happen, and that's kind of embarrassing. So I'm going to drop MTV Light Vehicle as well as Troopers in the top lane, and then I'm going to fall back to doing what Dengar does best, which is defend. I'm going to be able to take down Polar Bear with a minigun, drop down this turret, take some of the heat off of me. No, it does not take the heat off of me, and I end up dying. But luckily I got that top turret along the way, and I was able to come back, and they, for some reason, just heavily focused me there. Dropping the grenade on top of him. I'm going to drop 4 LOM right behind this Lando, and he should not underestimate, he should not underestimate the amount of damage that 4 LOM does with single target damage. Like, he just totally underestimated it there. And now I'm going to get a second turret. I made mistakes at the beginning of this game. You guys saw them, and hopefully I'll be able to come back after making those mistakes. And let me just drop the grenade pick. Oh, sick pick right there. I'm going to drop Sand Trooper, and Sand Trooper should be able to take out these Marauders pretty quickly. And my MTV Light Vehicle on the back line should be able to wreck this tank. And basically all I have to do is not lose buildings, which is what I'm going to try to do here in the top lane by dropping down Rocket Trooper as well as Stormtroopers. I need to give this everything I've got to keep myself alive, and they ended up taking it somehow. Even though I dropped every freaking thing I had, they still ended up getting it. That's disappointing. Regardless, Yeti with a machine gun, MTV Light Vehicle should be able to take him out, and he does, and we ended up picking up the game. Beautiful. Whew! That was close. And every game is very close. My MTV Light Vehicle in the bottom lane ended up picking up that W for me, which is great. And as you can see, the real reason why I won that game is because my deck is so low cost. I can constantly throw options into both lanes. And in order to make this deck successful, let's go into a bit more detail here. In order to make this deck successful, you have to constantly switch lanes. You cannot stay in one lane. You will get cleared out very easily by X-Wings all day. So let's just kind of go over the elements in a little bit more detail. The only kind of tanking unit you have here is MTV Light Vehicle. Just got a 5% buff with the most recent patch. It does a lot of damage, and if it goes unchecked, it's actually very, very dangerous. I love it. It's viable now. I was hoping it had maybe 5% more HP. Let's see if they give that to us. I'm considering this a tanking option. It's a low-cost tanking option because there's no other low-cost tanking options with Empire. 3 cost, it's 900 health, and it does decent damage. Throw this turret down, it'll soak up some damage, it'll do some damage, it'll help you with zoning. I'm putting it in here because there's no comparable card to like a Wookiee that I can throw down for my secondary tank, so that turret is acting as my secondary tank. And as you saw this last game, I have my grenade ability that I can use to clear out waves. I also have Sand Trooper, which does just ungodly amounts of damage to waves of units if it stays alive, and then Dioxis Grenade. So I've got tons of quick, just fast wave clearing options I can throw at my enemy that I can throw in either lane, so I can be very versatile, so I can be very fast in how I deal with different enemy threats. That's the basic gist here. I wish that there were more low-cost options. I wish there were even some one-cost options that were viable on the Empire side, other than that net thing that gathers all the units up in one's close location, but there's not. So this is me trying to make that work, and that's why I've chosen Dengar, is because I get that 4 LOM unique to give me that extra 2 cost. Without that additional 2 cost option that choosing Dengar gives you, I just am not able to make Galactic Empire work right now. Post in the comments below what Empire decks you guys are able to make work. I'd love to see it. I'm looking at what the top players in the world are using. For the most part, they've got uniques that are kind of coming along for the ride to complement many of their other cards. And, okay, X-Wing there. That was an interesting X-Wing, we'll say. Using a grenade, taking out his Marauders. And I'll just continue to be on the defensive here as Luke gets pretty aggressive. Dropping the turret down here means that I'll probably be able to clear this out quickly. I do decent single target damage, and I'm going to drop rockets in the top lane and see if that'll work. Grenade dropping on top of everyone, and I think I'll get Luke, which means my rocket unit in the top lane is basically going to be just in a total free-for-all situation, doing unlimited amounts of damage. Somehow they were able to take this turret down just handily there. That was actually very, very surprising. Interesting. So we're going to drop down MTV Light Vehicle here in the top lane, as well as 4 LOM, drop a grenade, and unfortunately, this Luke is just totally wrecking me. He's able to throw all of these low-cost units out there to take me down, and I'm having a hard time responding. I'm having a hard time having counters for this, and a lot of the time it's pretty frustrating as Empire to feel like you have the right counters, even options of the right counters to deal with what you're running into on the ladder. So I'm down a turret. We'll see if we can make this work, and I've got another MTV Light Vehicle that I can throw out here in just a second. And hey, what's up, buddy? And he just keeps X-winging my lane, just like X-wing spam for days. We'll see what happens. So 4 LOM here will have that single target damage for me. I'll see if I can get this turret down. I'm gonna chuck a grenade at it. Maybe we can take it down. There we go. At least we're kind of have a relatively even matchup. And this is a perfect time for a Dioxis grenade and to drop down a turret. I need to prevent this enemy from doing like basically any damage to my turret, and that basically even things up for me. So where I'm at right here is Stormtroopers plus Rocket Trooper is going to take down this light tank, and then with this momentum that I'll get here with this really decent counter, well, no, I'm getting X-winged again. Wow, this X-wing spam is hardcore. I was not expecting that caliber of X-wing spam. I need to take out this Gonk droid, and it doesn't work. MTV light tank, it's just, or not MTV light tank, I'm sorry, MLC3 light tank is completely overpowered in my opinion, and I think that that's the main reason why the Rebels succeed so often. It's just very, very difficult to deal with. Its HP is just too high. You can throw all kinds of stuff at it, and there aren't that many amazing counters for that card. Its damage is too high, and its HP is too high. And I was hoping in this balance patch that that card would be nerfed, but it wasn't. MTV7, you know, the light tank, or the light vehicle for Galactic Empire, the 5% health increase, still just not even in, it just still isn't even close to the power of the Rebel option, in my opinion. Simply because if you're going to choose that card, the MTV light vehicle, it has to be your like only tank option. I've seen people try to run AT-ST and run this light vehicle, and it's just too high cost. You have a 7 cost and a 5 cost tank in your deck. It's just too high cost. It's just not viable. Anyway, we're 1 for 1 in this video, and I don't know, you could probably tell I'm a little frustrated trying to make it work here, but it comes from a place of you know, me really seeking a solution here. Like, am I playing this wrong? Obviously, it's obvious that I'm making mistakes, right? I'm not playing this perfectly, but at the same time, you know, my skill level is pretty, you know, it's pretty high, I guess. You know, it's high enough for me to be able to pick up consistent W's with Rebels, and I feel that gameplay is not supposed to be that much different when we're looking at the Empire. And so, okay, interesting jump there, interesting aggressive move from our friend. I'm going to be very careful to counter this and not to get overly aggressive. So that turret up front should zone the enemy. This will allow me to at least get some of my energy back, and it's time to do some counter play. Here it is with another freaking light tank. It's going to be very, very difficult to deal with, per usual. So we're going to drop our light vehicle back here on the back lines. We're going to drop down stormtroopers here, and we're going to do that damage. And bam! Going to take out those marauders the best we can. The Dioxis grenade should polish everyone else off. And hey, the turret survived. That's great. That's really, really awesome. And what I'm going to do is drop this turret back here on the back line and see if we can make something happen with 4 LOM. No, Gonk Droid. No, 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 no. Can I kill it? Can I kill it? No. He ended up getting half of the HP off of my structure there because he ended up squeezing that Gonk Droid through there. That's pretty disappointing. That's fine. I should have kept a closer eye on the minimap. That's on me. That's not on the balance of the game. That's on me. So there it is. Took that out. Got the light vehicle. And maybe I can make a move happen here. And with the grenade there from the Grenadier, that's going to be pretty tough. So it's time for me to drop the turret. And as soon as my cooldowns come down, I'm probably going to end up... damn. Another Gonk Droid? Really? Gross. Okay, I need to take down this Gonk Droid, otherwise this tower is toast. And going to drop down 4 LOM here. And just trying to deal with both lanes. And as you can see, my low energy cost is what's giving me the versatility that I need to get through these situations, essentially. And by putting Rocket Trooper here on the back line, I'm hoping that I can do kind of that extra damage I need to do to survive this situation, basically. Like, that light tank is just going to be able to push through. It can push through, like, almost anything. And bam, I took it out. Luckily, I had the perfect cards to counter that. That was very, very close. Gonna drop light vehicle down here, and we'll see if we can make it happen. And there's the W. Got it. So 2-1. That's pretty typical results. You know, as you guys have seen from the Rebel deck videos I do, I normally win all 3 games in the video, and it's not because I like got some choice cherry-picking recording. Like, I don't edit these at all. I did get the W there, and I'm pretty happy with it. So there you go. You might win 2 out of 3 games of this deck. If you perfect it, which I need to perfect my skills of this deck and my ability to counter, I might be able to get my win rate even higher. So there you go. There's an Empire deck. I promised you guys I'd bring you one. Hadn't brought one since launch. I only did them pre-release. I'm throwing my avatar up on the screen. Click that Awall avatar to subscribe to my channel. Turn on notifications. You'll get daily Star Wars Force Arena strategy and tips. Got a couple other videos over here about this game as well. Watch those because they're great. Thanks for watching, citizens. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.